Plymouth in Devon. Blue skies, green fields and peaceful harbours. This area is very popular with holidaymakers and homeowners, and by the look of the street names around here, passing royalty as well.
Let the sun shine bright for you.
And the regal theme continues. This is Crown Hill Road, but properties here won't cost you a king's ransom or even a princely sum. In fact, I'm here to see a bungalow which had a guide price of just 90,000 quid.
I'm a man of means, by no means, king of the road.
Now, that is quite a noisy road out there, but great news when you walk through the front door, you can't hear it. How great is that? And I love this! Fantastic, huge sort of entrance hall. Absolutely marvellous. And all the main rooms sort of spread off this. You've got the lounge there, you've got a bedroom there, loo there, another room there leading onto the kitchen, through to the lounge. Now, bungalows sometimes can feel a bit claustrophobic, but not this one. Lots of light pouring through the windows. I mean, for instance, in the lounge here, two big doors leading out onto the lean-to and onwards to the garden. It's a bit tired, it's a bit dated, but, you know, some of the features that are still here. Picture rails, you've got the high ceilings. Great start. Apart from the dated decor, I reckon the rooms down here are great. They're well proportioned and very bright.
Let the sun shine bright for you.
But I would take down the dividing wall in the kitchen to open it up and create an open-plan dining space. And talking of space, being a dormer bungalow, this semi-detached property has lots of it. Now, when you come upstairs, I have to say, this dormer bungalow starts to look suspiciously like a house. It's certainly got enough space, that's for sure. 2 extra bedrooms. Now, you could think about putting maybe another bedroom up here, maybe creating a dormer, but you know what? I think it's pretty good as it is.
I take you just the way you are.
What more could you possibly want in a bungalow that already has 3 bedrooms? And there's even more to it at the back. So, out at the rear of the property, this fairly tired lean-to. But good news, a decent-sized garden, and I reckon if you got rid of some of these trees, a nice view out over the hills there. So all in all, an additional bit of outside space, which is lovely to have. So all in all, I think this semi-detached bungalow would have been a fantastic buy around that guide price of 90 grand. I asked a local estate agent for his opinion of the place.
You can see that it's been, it has been a lovely family home at some stage, but now it's just a little bit tired. The house needs mostly DIY, so most people will say, well, I could tackle this work myself.
So, once tidied up, what could it rent for?
Rental properties in the area for this size are probably typically about £700 a month.
What if the buyer chooses to sell?
Depending on what you do for it, because it has got an awful lot of scope, possibly up to £180,000.
So, an opportunity for sympathetic expansion with this one, but actually, I quite like the bungalow as it is. It's got a feeling of spaciousness. I mean, you could add another room, perhaps, but you'd really have to weigh up the economies and the practicalities of that. Bit noisy on the road here, but actually, all in all, for that £90,000 guide price, I think it was a good one to go for. Let's see who spotted it when it went to the auction.
90 straight in. 90 we've got, 90 I've got, at 90, at 90, at 90, 92, 94, at 94, 94's on my right, sir, 94, 96, at 90, 98, at 98, at 98, oh, just along from you, says 100, thank you, that's the way, at 100, there's 102, 102, you're both out at the back, 102's on my right, 104, he's in again, 104, at 104, 6 was the gentleman just before you, madam, sorry, 107, 107. Gents, 108, 108, 109, 110, 111, 11, all the ones, 112, 113, 113, 113, 14, 114, 115, 116, 116, 117, 117, 118. 18 I've got. 19. At 90. 20. At 120. 21. 121. 122. 122. 123. 124. At 125. 126. 126. How about 127? 128. 129. 129. 130. At 130. At 130. At 130. 131. 132. 133. 133. At 133. The lucky lady has it at the moment. But 133. Rather nervous-looking lady here. At 133. 133 second time. Here we go. At 133 and done. Madam, well done.
That was more like a game of tennis than an auction. The winning serve of 133,000 came from Jo. She's a property developer who has a small portfolio of 5 properties, including 2 in Spain and 1 in France. I met her, along with her dog, Fuego, back at the house to see what she's got planned for it. Jo, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, why did you want to buy the house?
Because it had a lovely feel to it. To be quite honest with you, it was the only place that struck my eye in the auction catalogue.
Jo financed this purchase using leftover money from a mortgage arranged to pay off loans on her properties in Spain. Unfortunately, these ventures abroad haven't gone well for her. Since the credit crunch, she's struggled to rent them out, so has decided to try her luck on these shores. Why did you want to buy it? What's it for?
Well, it was initially with a buy-to-let in mind. I'd like to keep it, though. I would like to live in it ultimately if I still have to stay in England.
Right. You say that the plan is to go to Spain or
France?
Yeah,
well, that was my idea of buying in Spain to start with, but things didn't go right.
Right.
It's either good luck, I'm the last to get it. Bad luck, I'm the first.
Let's hope it'll be more plain sailing for her here in Devon. There's certainly lots of rental potential in such a tourist hotspot. So tell me what you're going to do with this place.
Well, upstairs, I would like to put in 2 dormers in the rear to get the view of the Tamar and everything else across there, open it out. But I don't know whether I'll be able to afford that on the budget, because it depends on prices.
Jo's renovation budget is 15 to 20,000, and she has plans for every room in the house.
Here I'd like to get the double glazing put in, replace the crittle windows, but the biggest problem is the kitchen area, because it's a funny shape, and apparently you can't knock the wall down entirely to that sort of utility area.
Now that is a real pain, because it would be lovely to open up that space and make it more livable. But Jo is still planning to renovate the kitchen completely. In the rest of the house, she's also planning to install central heating, a new bathroom, update the conservatory and put in double glazing throughout. The renovation will be done by her old friend Paul. He was at the auction with her and has done all the work on her other properties. And will you be supervising, or do you let him get on with it?
Well, I sort of supervise when I can get a chance. But we do discuss what's going to be done and then go off getting the materials and choosing the various things.
Jo's budget of 15 to 20,000 is quite generous. I can't see her spending all that money inside. Some of it should definitely be spent on the garden, especially as there is more to it than first meets the eye.
The garden's got a very interesting tree area, which no one knew about when I first went for the house. I just thought it ended at the boundary, this overrun hedge, and looking down, there's a slope with quite an area with great tall trees, and I'd like to open it out so that you've got a view of this sort of rural woodland bit.
So you've got a bit of land that you didn't know about?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know until I suddenly thought, I wonder, and asked the solicitor to check, and he said, oh, yes, it is yours.
When that area is cleared, it should make for great views and a lovely place to relax on sunny days like this. So, with that extra bit of garden, maybe Joe's luck in the property game is on the turn. So, what's next for you, then?
What's next? To try and sort of balance all these things out, because I'm like a walking mortgage. I've got so many mortgages, it's unbelievable. People assume you're well off if you do this sort of thing, but I was joking the other day that my name's Hipoteca, which is Spanish for mortgage.
So, will this herald the start of the good news property stories for Jo? Well, I think she's got a nice little bungalow, and of course, she's got Paul to help her out and do the work as long as he isn't dragged onto other jobs. 15 grand budget, well, that should be enough. But with property, you never know. Find out how she gets on later in the show.